Hi everyone, Dave McMahon here with CMCL Teen Department, and I'm excited to welcome you back to our Take and Make craft event for March. This craft, we're going to be making geoboards. So let me show you what I mean here. You may remember seeing these in school once in a while. You make different shapes with them, different polygons, and you can figure out area, perimeter, congruence, translation, reflection, and those sorts of things. So it's a really helpful tool, but more importantly, it's actually really relaxing to just play around with. So we're going to show you how to make that today. So let's take a look at what kind of supplies you're going to be getting in your kit this time. So you'll be getting about 25 of these push pins that you'll be using. You'll be getting a little cup of Mod Podge. This is currently empty. You're going to be getting a foam brush to use. Some rubber bands, I've got one here. A foam board. A piece of graphing paper. And you will get a sheet of instructions. The other piece that you're going to need that we will not be supplying for you is a pair of scissors. And that's basically everything you need to make this geoboard. Very simple, very easy to do. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get things prepped. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm always going to take a look at my directions here. So I start with the first step, keep going down. You'll notice that there are pictures for each direction. So it'll help you out with kind of giving you a visual of what you want to do. Now, once I've done that, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take this board and I am going to measure up roughly where the graph paper meets it on the edges. So that way I can tell where I have to cut the graph paper. And I'll just do something like this. I might make it just a little bit larger. There we go. Nice thing about graph paper is that it has all of these wonderful lines, so you can really see where you need to cut. Alright, so now that I've got my basic outline, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Alright, so as you can see, I've got a little bit of overlap, but I kind of wanted that just to be safe. And then I can always trim it up later if I really feel like it. But this is basically a really good cutout of this piece of foam board. So we're going to go ahead and actually get some Mod Podge on here. Now, in the kit, you'll have a cup like this, and you'll be able to dip your brush in here and paint it on very nicely. I do not have that capability as of yet because I'm trying to be aware of how many cups I have and kind of conserve them. So for today, I'm actually just going to make a little puddle on here on the board, and I'm just going to paint back and forth. So go ahead and get this Mod Podge. Okay, so now that I've got my amount on here, I'm just going to brush it on. Now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and lay my graph paper across it and try and smooth it so that it's in the center, and then smooth out any wrinkles that I see, because it will wrinkle up on you fairly quickly. Okay. Now, I will say this, Mod Podge does take quite a little while to dry, so just be aware of that. This could probably take a couple hours or so just to get dried correctly. So what we'll do now is we will start poking the board with our push pins. So we're going to go ahead and dip into the Mod Podge, and then I'm going to pick a corner. I think I'm going to pick right here, and then, yep, right there, and then I'm going to poke it in. Now, you don't want to poke it all the way through, obviously. If you can, you want to try and keep it from peeking out the other end. But you'll notice when you poke it in, there is, and it's probably a little bit out of focus, but there's like a little puddle of Mod Podge all the way around this. And what that'll do is that'll actually help to hold it and build a little bit more of a foundation for it. So there's Mod Podge holding it in the hole as well as around the top. So it's really a pretty decently solid Geoboard once you get done with it. So go and put in a few more just to give you a little more of an idea of how to do this and how to make it look nice. And eventually, once you get done poking everything full of holes, you'll end up with a board just like this. And then what you can do is you can take your rubber band and you can make all sorts of different patterns, different shapes, and so on. And this is really a big help for geometry. You could also probably use it for trigonometry as well, just to, kind of give you a visual representation of what you're working with. Or you can just do it to have fun, make some weird designs and enjoy it. Whatever way works best for you. And that's your Geoboard. Hey everyone, thanks again for watching this video and checking out the craft. Now, you will be able to pick up this craft at your local branch of the library. If your local branch doesn't have this kit available, just let them know that you're interested and they will let us know so that we can get it to you. So that's all you have to do for that. And be sure to be on the lookout for a bunch of different events coming up. The Technology Learning Center has some awesome events coming up for New Jersey Makers Day, which is part of the reason why we're doing this kind of craft for March. We also have a fandom quiz going on in the teen department on March 7th, so be sure to check that out as well. And we have 2 digital escape rooms for the month of March, celebrating Women's History Month. So definitely check those out. They will be a lot easier than the last one that I put up there, I promise. So definitely check those out as well. If you're looking for any other interesting events or some volunteer opportunities, all you have to do is check out our website and our calendar, and you'll be able to find out everything you need to know. So again, thanks very much for watching, and hope you enjoy this wonderful month.